Hey, good morning. My name is Chris with BilletBox.info, and I am here with a little bit of a different video. There was a device, and I'm getting a lot of questions about the device itself, so I decided, even though this is a Billet Box only channel, I would take a look at something else as well. Typically, I was just going to, take a look at billet boxes and accessories for the billet box, tanks and atomizers, switches, drip tips, whatnot. But a while back we learned about the Aspire box, which is a three-way collaboration with Aspire. It's part of the Prestige line, which is where Aspire is partnering with higher end modders to come out with something at a lower price point to be able to bring people in that otherwise wouldn't be able to afford a $400 device or whatnot. Not sure what the price point on what we're about to talk about is yet, but it's coming soon and we'll know more details. But the Aspire Prestige Mix, which is a side-by-side mod, it's under 100 US dollars, so I can't imagine this will be much more than $100, but I can't say that yet because I don't know. But anyway, the Aspire Box, which is a Boro device, is a three-way collaboration between Sunbox, Aspire, and Atmazu. The Greek modder company that's responsible for the vape snail, the vape shell, among other things. So anyway, what we have is the box, or the box, excuse me. And it is a single 18650 Boro device. And you can see here when I take off this panel, it'll take standard Boros. But the reason I was most interested in the box itself isn't necessarily the device itself, but what you get with it. It comes with the cubics art. Well, I'll go over what the different options for purchase are, but you get the Cubics RBA, which is made by Atmazu. I'm not sure if these tanks are actually made by Atmazu, but I would assume they are. You've also got three other tanks that you can get with the kit, with the deluxe kit, that is. This is one for a coil called the Aspire BP coil, which I don't have any to test. I'm working on getting my hands on some. And then you've got the Nautilus tank, and this will take Nautilus and Triton coils. So, but let's take a look at the actual device itself first. I'll bring it down low and we'll take a look. Oh, let me go over the specs and stuff about it first. Like I said, the Aspire Prestige collection is Aspire partnering with some higher end modders to get some, really cool middle tier items. They've made the mix. They've made this right here, which is the Nico RTA, which is really good. And yeah, so I showed you the tanks. It's gonna really, I mean, the RBA, the Cubics made by Atmazu, is going to be the one that shines. And I've been testing this for about a week. I do not have any of the retail packaging. This was sent to me directly from one of the Aspire designers, and it's just to test it out. It'll come with two different colors. This one, which is the Tuxedo, and Quicksilver, which is like a brush, pretty much the same color as the tube all the way around. It's called Quicksilver. So it doesn't have a DNA chip in it. It's got its own chip, which is close to, it looks a lot like a DNA 60. Oh wow, I got some juice on here. So yeah, let's just take it down and take a look. Oh, what I was going to tell you is the box itself is going to come in several different configurations. You can get, when it's available, you'll be able to get it as the box kit with just the single Nautilus tank. You can get it with the Nautilus tank with TPD standards for the UK folks, You can get it with the box and just the BP coil tank, or the deluxe kit, which will come with a TPD version or a non-TPD version, and it'll come with all three of the tanks and, you know, extra coils and all sorts of other stuff. That's the one I'll probably go for because I want to have, you know, extra tanks for billet boxes. As you already saw, it'll also take standard Boros. I've got a billet box Boro and the wicked bridged 1.2 in there. So let's take it down and I'll show you this device a little bit and we'll go from here. So let's put this back on here. I must have had a little bit of juice leak out. I got juice all over the place. So this is the box, and it is a single 18650. You put a battery in right here. This is one little con that I don't like. I don't like this style of battery. Of course, there is trade-off because then you don't have to worry about latches breaking or whatever on, you know, spring-loaded type connections. But you just drop the battery in there, positive down, just like a billet box, and through this, get it started. The box here, I've had it for about a week now, and I'm going to tell you, it is very high quality feeling. It is, you know, Aspire, you know, known for mass produced mods, making a very high-end feeling device here. So looking around the device, it'll take a standard 510 or a standard billet box threading, which you could use a flush nut or an integrated drip tip. The battery tube top there. On the side here, you've got, if I can get into focus, I don't know why I don't have this focus problem today. There we are. You've got the box logo, which I've got a couple scratches on it already. I'm not sure if that came that way. I don't recall. The fire button, up down buttons, and the Aspire logo. On this side, you've got a battery door, which you can pull straight off. Really good magnet. Straight off or slide up and down. I find it easier to slide it up and down, but anyway. Here you've got airflow, and the airflow comes in on the side here, both sides, and there's a hole that goes up into the chamber underneath the coil here. So that's, I mean, you'll have an extra, a little extra flow here. These cutouts are there so you can see the level of your Boro, your e-liquid in your Boro. So, but yeah, on this side, you just have that airflow hole on this side, the battery tube, and on the bottom you've got your display here. So let's go over that a little bit. What prompted me to do this video is someone was asking me about bypass mode. So let's turn this on. It looks a lot like the DNA, up and down. It should round robin. It does. And there you have it. All right, so if you hold both buttons down at one time, which is going to be hard to do on camera. Oh, yeah, here we go. All right, I can't get them both to go at the same time. There you go. Change the screen orientation. And let's get it back. There we are. If you hit the fire button 3 times, you can go into stealth mode. 3 times back off. If you hold the fire button, fire button and the down button, you can lock the device. Just locks the up and down keys. It doesn't actually lock the fire. And we'll take that back down. Unlock that. All right. There we go. Now I've got, oh, I didn't get it. There we go, unlocked. All right. So if you hit the fire button and the right, or the up button, you can change to variable voltage mode. You can go, if you like to vape at 4 volts instead of worrying about wattage, there you are. If you hold that button and the right up button and the fire button, you can put it into bypass mode, which acts just like a mech mod, I guess you'd say. So, and then one more time to go back to wattage. And let's go back down to where I like to vape this, about 30 watts. So anyway, that's the chip. Now here's the things that a lot of people want to know about. Compared to the billet box, it's about the same height, or it's almost the exact same dimensions all around. And with a battery in both of them, they weigh about the same. I mean, I don't have a scale to actually show you that, but they're very similar in weight and dimensions. So another thing too, and this is the exciting part about it, the tanks that come with the box fit just fine and work just fine in a regular billet box. So if you bought the box and you're already into billet boxes, if you get the deluxe kit, you've scored 3 new tanks for the same price. So like you saw in here, I've got a standard Boro with a wicked bridged. Works just fine. And let's take a look at these tanks here. So first we've got this tank, which has a Nautilus cool in there. I haven't used it because, you know, I know what a Nautilus cool is like. So there's an airflow ring at the bottom of this where you can adjust your intake airflow. But if you pull this out, make sure you don't have juice over that line, you can change your coil out without actually opening up the Boro. And this coil just screws in and out. And then you just pop it right back down there. Doesn't screw in, it just pops in. So that's the Nautilus / Triton bridged in. I mean, I don't know if you can change them out, but I assume since they came out with 2 different ones that you cannot. So this one, I don't have any BP coils to test, but the BP coil just slides right down into there and marries into that, and that's it. So you'll be able to change those coils without dumping your e-liquid. And all 3 of these have the same fill ports on it. Just pull this off, throw your bottle in there, fill it up, close there you are. And then you have the cubics, which I'll probably do another video just of the cubics. I actually believe, if I recall correctly, I've already done a live stream on the Billet Box Info Facebook page. But this is the cubics. It is made by Atmazu for the for the box, and it will be available for individual purchase as well. But you've got on this one, you've also got an airflow adjustment here. Got, I think it looks like 4 or 5 holes there, and just simply, let me put a piece of paper towel down here just in case it dumps on me. Oh goodness, I have dropped the deck on the floor. And there's the deck. I've got some pictures and videos. One thing I don't have that this is going to come with are airflow rings or airflow reducers that go in below the coil. They screw into the bottom, and this also screws off the base to well, let me get this back in here and I'll show you. There you go, just slides back in. And to build on this, this airflow will come off if I had enough finger strength to do it. There we go. It was on there good and tight. But that slides off or screws off there and shows you some threading that you can thread directly into whatever you're going to build on. So, but if you take this out, there's airflow pins that will be coming, both mouth to lung and reduced direct lung, that you can change the way it vapes. Me personally, I'm going to stick with this 4mm without any It's 4mm with no airflow rings. So there's it's going to come with the cubics. I mean, this one, the airflow, well, there's a lot of different ones that go all the way down from 0.8 all the way up to 3.5. Like, I think 8 different adapters or airflow inserts. And yeah, 0.8 is the lowest. So, but anyway, this is just a quick little look at this thing. I'm going to go ahead and take the standard Boro out and put the cubics back in here, and we'll go up top and talk about it a little bit. So just pops in there. Throws me a drip tip back in here. And like I said, this is an integrated drip tip. I've not tried it with a standard drip tip, but it should work. Or the 510 adapter, I don't even know if it'll come with one. Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta turn that down a little bit for this. Oh no, that's fine. Plenty of. All right, so let's take a look here. It's a good looking device. Again, this isn't really a review. This is just like an overview, just to show. But the button position is kind of weird. It's got that little cutout right here, and it works out. You can put your thumb in there like that, and with airflow, with those holes on the side, which you can see my hand through it, it doesn't really matter if you grip it tight because one side's going to be open no matter what. But I like to use it right here. I got my thumb in there, and you're never going to miss the button because you got to put your button down in that groove to get to it. So, but you can also use your index finger and hold it like that, however you want to do it. But anyway, yeah, I have not tried any of the other two, either of these coil adapter tanks yet. I am interested in checking out the BP coils because they sound like they're pretty good. They look like they're pretty good. Nice, good cotton area, similar to RPM or a PMP or a GTX coil. But with the side cover off, massive airflow. With the cover on, it doesn't reduce it a whole lot. So if you were into mouth to lung and you needed reducing, you would definitely need to get those airflow pins and cut it down. And you could also use a drip tip that cuts that down as well, like the mission tips with the inserts or whatever. So anyway, like I said, this isn't a review really, just kind of overview of the Aspire box. I mean, it's not even on the market yet. This is a prototype, and I don't want to cast any opinions on it quite yet. But I will say that I do like it. One thing that I've heard already about it that is a complaint, which doesn't really matter to me, is there is no USB port. And without having a DNA in there to connect with eScribe, it doesn't bother me at all. The fact I don't charge my batteries in a device. It's just, I mean, something I've never really done. I carry extra batteries with me everywhere, and as far as other complaints, I mean, it feels like a good quality, almost high-end device. I mean, it does feel like a high-end device. I mean, the branding is minimal. I'm very concerned about the scratches I've already got on there. I can't recall if it came like that or not. And I mean, obviously it wasn't, in a brand new in the box. I didn't open it up and put it to work. It was sent to me already opened and just with the 3 tanks. So it wasn't sent to me as a review kit because I'm not a reviewer. So it was sent to me so I can test these Boros out and give my opinion. In my opinion, it's good. It's, like I said, it's about as heavy as a billet. It's a little bit lighter than the Abyss, and it's heavier, obviously, than the Evo, which is very similar form factor. And yeah, it's feels good in your hand. I like the button position. Really, it takes some getting used to. When you're used to using devices with button on the front, like the Billet Box or the Delro or even the Stash Box, it's just, it takes getting used to go back to something on the side of a device. But so far, this Cubics here has been a real banger. And if you have never seen the dot shell, it is very similar to Atmazu's dot shell, except for just bigger. One person made a comment that it's kind of like a dot shell XL. So the chip, um, I don't really have any complaints with it. I don't use temp control or anything like that, so I don't really dig deep. I put it in wattage mode, set my wattage, and go. So I can't really comment on the chip's accuracy or anything. I'm not gonna put it on an O scope like other, like Phil or whoever. But yeah, so anyway, Chris, Billet Box info. This is the Aspire box. It's a nice device. Price point's gonna be great. I've also been told, as I mentioned earlier, the Cubics will be able to be purchased from Aspire individually. Don't know what the price point's going to be, but it's not going to be much. So this is definitely going to be something interesting. By the way, also too, the Cubics, the way it's configured right here is 4 milliliters, and the TPD version obviously is going to be 2 milliliters. I was kind of concerned about it because the airflow pin at the bottom just kind of takes up so much of the possible space that you have in there for more liquid, but 4 mil versus 5.5 in a standard bore was really not that bad. So anyhow, thanks for watching, and if you like it, give it a look.